Hello in TV land. Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Vintage Kids. Bonsoir mesdames et messieurs et bienvenue à tout nouvel épisode de The Vintage Kids. Ce soir, tonight. Little Genesis wink. Ce soir, eh bien, nous allons parler, si la caméra me permet d'être au focus, bien sûr. Here I am. It's funny because I can actually see I need a new pair of glasses. J'ai besoin d'une nouvelle paire de lunettes là, qui ne va pas flasher tout ce que je suis en train de tricher là, au poker. So tonight we're going to talk about graded toys. Yes, indeed. So tonight we're going to talk about graded toys. On va parler des jouets gradés. I'm going to take this out. Let's take this because we've already started and we are actually doing this. The Vintage Kid episode 25. Can you believe it? We've done 25 of these blabbering guy from Quebec, Canada, talking about things, not necessarily important things. We're not talking about politics or religion. Well, Star Wars is still a religion for me. Anyway, let me go check the comments. I'm going to open this. Hey, Jim Arsenault. Good to see you, my friend. Once again, this week, I'm going to do my best to look at the comments at the same time that I'm going to blabber all over your face about graded stuff. I wanted to go back to what this is about, the Vintage Kids. It's about our love for the vintage stuff. So this is why I wanted to, I've been thinking about doing this episode since the first day of the Vintage Kids, and I've already talked about graded stuff, but I wanted to do a special episode just on that. Donc, je voulais faire absolument un épisode sur ça seulement. Et vraiment essayer de rentrer un peu plus. What's up, man? Je voulais vraiment rentrer un petit peu plus creux. C'est Greg Marshall. Good to see you, my friend. Last podcast because I hadn't seen any of the new. Yeah, well, I totally understand, man. This is the reason why they're available also on YouTube afterwards. So it's live on YouTube and it's available on YouTube. And I think it's even available on Yoda's workshop afterwards on Facebook. Donc, ceux qui ne peuvent pas être là, on parle des éditions de Andor or any series that you haven't seen yet. This is the reason why I always try to advise you guys what I'm going to talk about on every episode. Donc, j'ai fait de mon mieux pour m'assurer de vous tenir au courant de ce que je vais parler. Puis, je ne suis pas offusqué. Don't worry if you guys are not able to be here during the live stream. Don't worry. I'm still going to do this, even like I said so many times, even if there's nobody, because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for the Star Wars lovers, the Star Wars collectors, and not only Star Wars, but all kind of, for every vintage kids. So this is the reason why I'm doing this. It's all for fun. It's all for spending time with other collectors. It's and what I really love about this thing is the fact that there's all kinds of collectors, and there's also the fact that there's some collectors that are new at this. Like I've talked to a few people this week that were telling me, I'm starting a collection. I have no clue what I'm doing. Well, this is why I'm doing this also. I want you guys to be able to learn to learn how not to get scammed, not to get into trouble and lose money and la. You know, that's the important thing. Fait que pour moi, c'est ça qui est important. C'est la raison pourquoi aussi je fais ça. C'est de pouvoir aider les autres collectionneurs. Il y a du monde qui commence, il y a du monde qui ne connaissent pas ça. Et c'est pour m'assurer que vous n'allez pas vous faire avoir par des trous de cul, parce que Dieu sait qu'il y en a. There's very bad people around, not only in the collectors world, they're like in every part of this crazy world that we live in. So it's fun to know that you have somewhere that you can go and make sure that you're going to have the right information, and you won't have any bad surprises. I think this is our notre devoir. I forgot. It's our duty. There you go. It's our duty to make sure that other collectors can use our knowledge of what we've learned throughout all over the years that we've been collecting. I think that's really important. Fait que je pense que c'est important que les connaissances que nous avons ramassées au cours des années, on puisse les enseigner aux autres qui commencent à collectionner pour pas qu'ils se fassent avoir. Parce qu'il y en a vraiment des crottés dans le monde. Il y en a qui sont là juste pour faire la pièce, ils ne sont pas là pour aider le monde. Ils vont vous dire n'importe quoi, surtout si vous êtes un peu innocent. Quand je dis innocent, je ne parle pas dans le sens péjoratif du terme. But when you're new to this, people can make you believe all kinds of stuff. This mouse was signed by Elvis. Oh yeah, they're right here. Oh, ooh, tu sais, bon, fait que, you never know what kind of crazy seller or crazy guy that are going to try to make a buck out of you. So this is why I'm doing this. Yeah. So tonight, graded stuff. The way I want to do this, I've changed a little my my decor. I've put a few graded stuff over there, and I've got tons over here. I'm gonna pick a few of them out, and I'm gonna show you the difference, because it's not only graded stuff. It's why are we grading them? Is it really worth it? How much it costs? Is it a gamble? So what is worth grading? And tonight we're talking most toys, but I'm gonna show you guys, of course, other stuff that people grade. So there's not only toys, and I was so surprised the first time that I saw a graded figure. I said, my God, that's a great idea. Okay. I don't have a note. I don't have notes. I don't have, I have no clue in what direction I'm going to go. But if you have questions during what I'm going to tell you guys, go ahead. I'm looking at the comments right now. And there's no stupid questions, by the way. If you have any kind of questions, go ahead. So there's no stupid questions. Of course, about graded toys we're talking right now. You know. Oh, strong coffee. Sorry about that. Okay. So once again, go ahead if you have any questions during this podcast. Of course, we're going to talk about around an hour. And in the best world, we'll be able to see everything that I want to cover tonight. But again, I don't like to rush stuff, as you guys know. So if we're not done, we're going to continue next week. So no problem. We're at episode 25. This is amazing. 25 vintage kids. It's like one season of Phil's talking about stuff. So I really want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank every people that are following Yoda's workshop and other groups that I'm in. I love you all. Let's do this. Okay. So what's a graded toy? I'm not going to be able to give you a course about history of when it began, at what date, and who got the idea, who was the creator of AFA or CGA or whatever. I'm just going to go and do a general information for considering that perhaps you don't even know what graded stuff is. So, yeah, so I don't even recall which figure and I saw first that was graded, but for me, it really opened my eyes. I thought to myself, oh my God, I think that's the real future of collecting. because I knew that there were cards that were graded, and okay. And I knew that cards graded were not easy to get, and the value would go very high and stuff because it would be protected. But I think I saw a Minton card for the first time graded, not necessarily a loose figure. But I remember that I was not able to buy graded figures mint on card because they were way too expensive for me. You have to keep in mind that I'm in Canada, and Canadian dollars is like a dollar for, I don't know, 78, 73 cents US. So, and again, there's no company that grades stuff that is as known or respected as AFA that we're going to see with our CAS and the UKG, but we're going to talk about that later. So, okay, let's dig in the bags. Okay, so let's start with well, the reason why actually I love the graded stuff at first, it was, of course, for the vintage figures from 1977, 1981, and 1983, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and A New Hope. And what it's amazing about this is that you send this figure to AFA, which is CJA now, CJAgrading.com. I'm going to show you guys later on the website. We're going to go through it together. So you send your action figure mint on card to this company, and these guys actually receive it. They look at everything, the card, the bubble, the figure, and they're going to put a grade on it, a grade out of 100 or 10. So, for example, this action figure is Return of the Jedi ATST the driver, and he got a 60 grade, which is not very good. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about. It's a 60Y excellent grade. And we're lucky enough, this one is archives, and I'm going to explain what it means. It's archival, and it got the 3 information on the sticker. They're going to give you a note on the card. They're going to give you a note on the bubble, and they're going to give you a note on the figure. So this particular figure received for the card, received a 60. For the bubble, received a 75. And for the figure, received an 80. So why and how do they decide what grade they're going to give a card, a bubble, and whatever? Well, it's all in the little details. So they're going to, by the way, when you receive your figure back from AFA, it comes in this plastic, and some people like me love to keep the plastic there to keep it even more protected. So some of my figures you're going to see, guys, are still in this plastic, but the bad thing is it's not very clear. So let me pick another one, and I'm going to go back to the archival stickers and the 3 grade that they gave this guy. Let's pick this one. Okay, so no bag on this one. So this is moi qui commentais dans la vide sur l'autre lien. Tu étais peut-être sur YouTube. Je ne vois pas les commentaires sur YouTube. Je vois les commentaires sur Facebook et sur StreamYard. Donc, c'est André. Good to see you, man. Fait que oui, je ne vois pas les commentaires sur YouTube. Malheureusement, je suis tout seul à gérer tout ça. Fait qu'il faudrait qu'il y ait quelqu'un de plus. Ah, c'était Facebook en plus. Ben, tabarouette. Là, je comprends plus rien. Hein? Ben non. Mais anyway, bienvenue. Hein? Welcome. Donc, on parle des bonhommes gradés. So, back to this guy. So, this guy, no plastic. The plastic was taken out, as you guys can see. The plastic is gone, but you get your acrylic case. Your figure comes back in this acrylic case. So let's see what Lobot received as grade. So Lobot is a 70 plus, no, 70 yellow, excellent plus. And as you guys can see, you can actually see the card grade, the bubble grade, and the figure grade. So this is a 60 card, 75 bubble, and an 80 figure. Funny thing, because it's actually the same thing as this one. And this is where grading started to... Marcy, back to my question. Who can grade? Let me go check to make sure I don't miss anything. OK, j'ai reçu 2 invites, King. Ben oui, je comprends donc. C'est parce que moi, je vais être sûr que tu es là. Merci. Back to my question. Who can grade? Anyone can grade. So let me explain. If you have a Star Wars or any kind of other vintage toy, or even now modern, but as I was explaining, I think at the beginning it was mostly vintage stuff. Donc, si tu l'as en ta possession, tantôt, on va aller sur le site web de CGA, Collecting Grading Authority, où est-ce qu'il y a AFA et où est-ce qu'il grade toutes sortes d'autres affaires. Et je vais vous montrer comment faire. Mais n'importe qui peut grader. La joke, c'est le cash que ça coûte et le temps que ça prend. So the thing is with grading stuff, it's the time it takes and the money that it costs. And I would even add the stress and anxiety that you have when you ship it there. So let's go back to the basic. Puis je vais rentrer plus en détail, and I'm going to explain it a little more as I go along. So as I was saying, you guys are going to receive this back in a few months. Even people are now saying AFA was at nearly a year to get your item back. So when you receive it, you open it and you check the grade, and you have no idea what grade it's going to be. Because if you think that your grade is amazing, because, oh my God, this is amazing. This one is unpunched. The bubble is intact. The figure is perfect. The gun is still glued on the bubble. I mean, that card is perfect. So even if you think that it's perfect, there's a lot of details that we might not even see ourselves. Like I explained earlier, the bubble can be a little yellow. So you're going to receive a Y70. That means that the bubble is yellow. I'm going to explain the bubble problems in another show. But anyway, so sometimes the bubble get yellow. Sometimes the bubble are very clear, but they're very hard to find, a very clear bubble. So they're going to check the card. They're going to check the bubble also. Is the bubble intact? Does it have any like bump or smush or cracks? So this is going to play a big role also in the overall number that you're going to receive for your grade. And of course, the figure. But the figure, when they are inside their bubbles, quand ils sont dans l'intérieur des bulles, les bonhommes, c'est bien rare qu'ils sont maganés, mais ça l'arrive. Ça peut arriver. La figurine, j'ai déjà vu des figurines à l'intérieur des bulles. I've already seen figures inside bubbles that got like, not moisture, but like, comme du poil dedans. Like, I should have taken pictures, but there's pictures on the web that you can see. Like the figure would be covered with all this little fur on the plastic. And of course, you're not going to get a good grade. Why does a figure would do that? I don't know. I cannot explain. It's probably big science there. But anyway, so this one received only a 60 for the cards, because as you guys can see on the top, the card is not perfect. Even if it's on punch, on the back. I think you can even see it better. There's like veining. We call it veining. And of course, you can get veining. You can have veining all around your card. And the more veining that you've got, the lower the grade it's going to be. But our near perfect grade, asking for a friend. I know where you live. J'espère bien. Oui, j'en ai des perfect grades. Il n'y en a pas. Check bien la joke. My friend just asked me if there's a perfect grade. Well, in the world of AFA toys, the highest grade that you can get is a 90. I perhaps they did 95 back in the days on vintage, but I'm not sure. Il peut avoir des 95, des 80, mais sur les vintage, je suis même pas sûr qu'ils ont fait du 95. Il n'y a pas de 100. Je n'ai jamais vu de AFA gradé 100. I've never seen 100 grade. Even if like it's perfect out of the case, even if it's spent like the last 50 years in this original case, there's always going to be like something, and it's normal that even now we purchase like vintage collection or retro collection stuff, and when we receive it, like the card is like a little bend, and they don't do the card as solid as they used to. So that's another issue. But anyway, so back to when you receive your graded stuff. Quand tu reçois ton graded, tu as évidemment le seau qui est à l'intérieur de la caisse en acrylique. You get back this all the information on that sticker that makes it official graded stuff by AFA. Or there's CAS. I'm going to show you CAS later on, and also UKG. Those are mainly the three big company that you can have your toys graded, and that they will be recognized from the collectors. Okay, so back to what's on that sticker again. So, like I said, let me see if I can have this on focus. Come on, camera. You're gonna get the name of the card. Let me see. Get on focus. C'est capable, man? Tantôt, c'était au focus, mais là, ça l'est plus. Anyway, let me... Oh, there it is, I think. So you're going to have the name, the exact name, the year of the figure. So this one is a 1980 Kenner Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. And you're going to get the information on the back, the card back. If you guys remember, we've spent 1 or 2 episodes and I explained what the card backs are. They're all different depending on the ways that the era that they came out. So you're going to have the exact information on your card back right there. And of course, you're going to have the name of your figure, which figure it is. So that's Lobot. You're also going to get this barcode and with this serial number right there. Because just like, I presume, just like with PSA in the cards industry, there's actually a bank of information of every toy that is graded, just like they do for cards. If you scan this with your phone, you'll go right in the website of PSA and you're going to see this Boba Fett card. There will be a picture. There will be all the information that you see on the top. And it will confirm you that it's legit. So same thing. It's all entered in the AFA data bank. Okay. So it's archive. It's all in the archives. Donc, c'est mis directement dans les archives de AFA. Okay. So now we haven't talked about how much it costs. We're going to talk about it later on. But the thing is, you don't know what grade you're going to get. So let's say that you pay throwing prices up in the air. And if you're not a really wealthy guy like me, I'm not a doctor. Some nights I am. If you don't have money to throw out your windows, it's not easy to say, I'm going to put $200 on this action figure that I've already paid $200 to see what grade I'm going to get. Of course, when you're going to receive it, depending on the grade that you're going to receive, the price, the value is going to go way up, but it can also bring your value pretty down. So if you receive a grade of 50 or you receive a grade of 60, you cannot consider your graded card as a 90. A 90 card vintage stuff will sell for crazy prices, but a 60 or 50, collectors are not looking for these. The guys that got the money, want to invest in collection, they're looking for the high grades. So I'm not going to say you'll be stuck with your action figure, but if your goal is to grade it and then sell it, and you don't have tons of money, it's a risk. It's totally a risk just because of the grade. That's the first thing. So if you have your hand on a brand new Babel on Punch, fresh out of the box, does the grade cost change, or is it always the same? Well, actually, it's never the same. That's the problem. I'm going to show you guys. I want to go through all the details of the graded stuff first, and then I'm going to talk about prices. But just to give you an idea, juste pour vous donner une idée combien que ça peut coûter, it's hard because we have friends in the US that watches this, and we have friends that watches this in Canada, and our money, excuse si je te devance, mais non, mais c'est correct, il n'y a pas de problème. Posez des questions, man. C'est ça que je veux. Ask questions as much as you want. It's totally fine. Just to give you a range of the prices, okay? Like I said, it's hard. Because if I give prices in Canadian money, people in the US are going to, oh my God, this is not what it costs over here. Totally understand, because we don't have the same reality. We have to ship our stuff to the US, insure it, put insurance on it, and they have to ship it back to us. So well, even if I go in US, the problem is, again, it's not the same price, because I realize that people that are living in Hawaii are having the same problem that we have. And we haven't talked about the memberships yet. See, so it has become a real business. It's like the wedding business, like a divorce business. Oh, you have a toy you want to have graded? Well, come on in. Here are all your 100 options. There's so many options now, and this is one I want to show you later on, because it's crazy. Just to give you, like I said, a range. For people over here in Canada, if I want to grade something, let's say I want to grade this guy, okay? So I've got this guy. So, okay, I think it's worth sending to AFA. I'm going to have to ship it from Montreal to the AFA headquarters in the US. I'm not going to put this in a bubble envelope. I'm going to put this in a huge box with tons of de la moumoute, là, de bubbles, puis des petites peanuts, là, pour que ça soit bon, là, parce que c'est bon des peanuts. And you're going to use a company that you trust, because you're sending something that for you is worth something emotionally, and even, yeah, it's popcorn. Mais t'es mieux de pas mettre du vrai, parce que c'est ça, la bulle, puis tout, elle mangera pas ça. Le sucre, le sel surtout. So once you've put your figure in a box, well protected, you have to decide, am I going to use Canada Post? Am I going to use UPS? the brown shit company? And are you going to use FedEx, or are you going to use any other company that you think will take care of your package? Once again, shipping from Canada to the US is not the same thing as shipping from Boston or New York or any place in the US except for Alaska and Hawaii and Puerto Rico, to the AFA headquarters. So knowing how much it could cost, I would say at least between, because you have to put insurance, because you don't know what kind of stupid guy is going to pick up your box and throw it in the brown sheet. Yeah, brown shit company, man. See, I'm not going to get into all the stories that I've lived with UPS, but they're the dark side for me of they're actually the empire of postal services. Anyway, once you found your company, it's going to cost you, for someone from Canada, again, it's going to cost you around, to be sure that, well, to hope that it will show up there, around $100, between, I'm going to say, $75 to $100 with insurance. So you already have almost $100, and you've only put it in a box and ship it over there. That's the first thing. So $100, around, approximately. Once again, I'm talking from Canada, not if you're in the US. This is why I'm saying there's a big difference in doing this from the US and doing this from Canada. After that, you've decided what kind of grade that you want, depending on what action figure it is. Is it a vintage? Is it a modern? Is it a big figure? Is it a 6-inch figure? Is it a mint in box playset, or a falcon, or whatever? So the prices are never the same. But to give you an idea, I've just watched it. To have this guy graded, it's the lowest price you can have right now is $90. So $90 US. So that's around $125, $130 Canadian. So we're at $230, and you're going to have it graded. Okay, perfect. You're going to have to wait a few months. Some people said they've waited a year, but that's okay. It's part of the game. I've waited a year for my last comics to show up, and I've got someone that sent them right over there, and I've got a special price, but I've waited a year. Yeah, tabarnak on the sti. So perfect. So by a miracle, your guy arrived safely to AFA. They grade it, but now you have to get it back, because shipping it back to you is not included in the price. Donc, il faut qu'elle revienne chez vous. Et encore une fois, n'oubliez pas, nous sommes au Canada, esti, avec nos belles rocheuses, tabarnak, see? So we have to keep in mind that we're in Canada. And I've watched today on the website, and they're actually saying, oh yeah, by the way, if you're in Canada, get a load of this. You have to basically use UPS. Oh no, it's the brown shit company. Woohoo! So there's problem right there, because you're going to have to pay like regular shipping, but again, you're going to have to put an insurance on the stuff. You don't want to lose it now that it's graded and you've already paid $200 for it. So you're going to pay for shipping, and you really want it back, and you really want it back quickly. So you're going to pay at least another $100 to receive it back. So we're at $330 Canadian. But here's the twist. Les douanes aussi, tabarnak. Ben oui, si tu l'as vu. The customs. Not only the customs. Don't forget about UPS fees. Oh, yes. Not USPS. UPS fees. Because they're the third-party guy that picks up your package from AFA. Ooh, nice package. There you go. that move is going to cost you a lot of more money. So that's another reality. So you never know how much they're going to charge you because they actually charge on the value of your package. So if you receive an AFA action figure that is worth $1,000, they're going to say on the AFA going to write down that this is worth $100. Oh, okay. So $100, you're going to have to pay custom on $100, and you have to going to pay your fees to UPS. So we're going like, shit, man. I hope my grade is going to be a 90, because if I receive a 60 or a 50 grade, I'm going to go throw myself off a cliff. On sport and business. Ouais, ben là, c'est ça. Tout le monde peut grader. Il y a une compagnie qui a commencé sur ça arrive sud, mais tu peux bien faire grader tes affaires par Jean-Guy Moreau, garage Tony à Longueuil, mais ça vaut plus rien. T'sais, n'importe qui est capable de mettre une figurine dans une caisse en acrylique. C'est pour ça que tu fais affaire avec les vraies grosses compagnies pour t'assurer que une fois qu'elle est dedans, ça devient une vraie pièce de collection. Okay, so sorry about all this. I was explaining our issues from Canada, and this is the reason why I've never sent it yet packages to you AFA, because it would cost us crazy money. So what I do, I purchase them once they're already graded. I pay a little more, but at least I get them. Okay, now why do we grade our stuff? Let me pick another one, because I've showed you this guy enough. I've got tons of stuff right here. So, okay, I'm going to show you this one. We're going to say, are you kidding me, man? No, don't worry, guys. This is not a vintage one. This is the Boba Fett mail away VCP-03 that was available by mail. T'as encore une question? You've got a question? Go ahead, my friend. Let me know your question. This is why I'm doing this. I love this. And again, I might not have all the answers, but I'm going to try to do my best to give you what I know. Vas-y, shoot-moi ta question, là. Je suis en train de boire mon petit jus, là. C'est excellent. Je vais juste fermer ça, là, ici. OK. Je vois plus les commentaires. Bon, André, là, OK. Les frais de douane, c'est basé sur la proximité, la gradé, le prix gradé. C'est pas le prix gradé. My friend is asking me when we pay for customs, on what price, on what number do they charge you? Well, they charge you on the value. So when you send your forms, because you have forms to fill when you send it to AFA, and there's also CAS, UKG, it's in Europe. I don't know the way to do it. But when you fill out the forms, they're going to ask you, how much do you think your figure is going to be worth? And depending on that, you're going to pay a different price right from the bat. But once it's graded, like this one, so that's a Boba Fett mail away 2010 vintage collection rocket firing Boba Fett mail order exclusive, and it's graded 8.5. Okay, so what they do once it's graded, AFA is going to look at the price of the market right now. So let's say that this guy, I have no clue how much this guy is worth, but like I said, if they consider that once it's graded 8.5, this guy is worth $1,000. They're going to put the value on the custom sheets of $1,000. And that's the price UPS and the custom will use to charge you. And you're getting charged 25% of the value. So that's $250. 25%. Fuck esti. That's it. Exactement. That's the reason why when I purchase stuff from the US from my friends, nowadays I always try to purchase my items from people that I know, that I trust, and don't tell customs, but I ask my friends to write down on the custom sheets, it's not worth $1,000. It's worth $25. So depending on the price that it's over there, you're not going to pay customs, or you're going to pay like a little part of the value that it's declared. So it's important, the value that your friend's going to put on your package on the custom sheets. So, j'espère que ça répondait à ta question. And if you have more, go ahead. Okay. So, now, I wanted to talk about why do we get our items graded? Pourquoi on fait grader? J'ai rien entendu de ça. Comment ça? Oui, tout plein. Ben oui, tout plein. C'est sûr, il y en avait au moins 2, 3, là, puis il était très joli. Tiens, là, ben oui. OK. So, oui, tout plein. OK, t'as tout plein de questions. Man, vas-y, puis de toute façon, je vais peut-être les répondre en même temps. Là, je vais au moins expliquer. I want to explain why do we get our items graded. So, like I said earlier, comme j'ai dit un petit peu plus tôt, je crois vraiment que les items gradés, protégés dans des caisses en acrylique, qui deviennent, dans le fond, protégés d'après la date qu'on les a gradés. So, you can consider that the grade that you have over here will always be the grade of your item, because you cannot remove it. Yeah, of course, you can break your acrylic case and take it out, but it's not going to be graded anymore. So why do we grade stuff? I think grading is the future of collecting. I think that for, like, I'm not going to say there's real collectors and there's not real collectors, but I'm going to say for serious collectors or collectors with more money or wealth, people will be looking for these. If you have a chance to get this thing, well, this is not a vintage stuff, but just to give you an idea, you can purchase this. But if you can get this inside a acrylic case and graded and archives with all the details of the bubble and the whatever, and the name, the exact name and numbered, I mean, people are going to go, well, people that are looking to get like the best available on the market, they're going to go and buy some AFA graded stuff. And like I said, AFA is the pioneer, is the big company that does it in the US. There's also CAS. CAS, some people love them, some people don't. There's so many figures that are been graded these days that the company can do it really quickly. So the wait to get your item is longer and longer and longer. So people sometimes they started with AFA and say, okay, now AFA took like, I don't know, 8 months. And I heard that my friend sent it to CAS, and CAS took 2 months. So they send out their next shipment to CAS. It's basically the same thing. One might be a little cheaper, one might be a little higher on the prices, but you're still going to receive your action figure in a acrylic case. There's even acrylic case that will protect your item from the sun. So the UV protection on the acrylic case to make sure that your figure will not diminish its quality that it is right now. So it's like putting Han Solo in carbonite. You put it in carbonite and it's going to stay like this forever. So yeah. And again, if you are a big collector and you want to show off your collection, what's better than putting your action figures in acrylic cases, and will stand one next to another or whatever. If you guys go check on the internet, there's huge collectors with walls of graded stuff, walls, hundreds of figures graded. I don't know what they do for a living, probably in drugs, but I cannot afford this. I've got a few. I can afford a few, but again, as I'm going to show you guys, my grades are not very good. Just like in school. I was okay in school, I think. Okay, so that's the reason I think that we are now grading our stuff, because it's a new way to protect it. It's a way to make sure that it's going to last forever, and it's a magnificent way to display it afterwards. Total. That's not that, and that was just displayed in 5 minutes. Anyway, you understand what I mean. Okay. Now, t'étais bon à l'école, man. T'as pas vu mes bulletins, hein? Je pense que hein? Ma mère, elle serait pas d'accord avec toi, mais bon. On est allé à la même école, hein? Ça devait être la faute des professeurs. Moi, là, les professeurs aussi. Bon, OK. Now, what do we grade? Of course, every vintage action figure for me is worth grading. Let me get another one. Here's one. Here's another one. So, I mean, first of all, it's already hard to get a vintage figure mint on card. Grace, c'était mon plus préféré. C'est quand il avait dit à Jean-Daniel Sanon, là, Monsieur Sanon, ça vous fait rire les mathématiques? Anyway, sorry about that. Okay, so it's already hard to get your hand on a vintage mint on card figure from Star Wars or most of other 80s stuff, G.I. Joes, Transformers, blah, 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 Masters of the Universe, peu importe. So when you get one, you're happy. I was so thrilled when I've purchased my first mint on card, and it was not great. It was like, oh my God, just like when I was a kid. But when you have a chance to get them graded, you've got the same thing, but now they are forever in there. And I totally understand why anyone would grade their vintage Star Wars stuff or other toy lines. I mean, look at this guy. He looks amazing. And this Lando. I mean, this is great. We were talking about yellow bubbles. See? This one is clear bubble. No Y. No Y on this one. And no Y on this one. So 2 clear bubbles. So this is pretty hard to find. Anyway. And of course, you get the unpunched or punch card. This one is unpunched. This one is punched. Okay. And of course, 2 different card backs. Okay. So I totally understand why we would grade our vintage card figures on card. But now the business has grown. It's not only how about toy lines that have least popular, like Thundercats. That's an amazing question, my friend. Let me put this out. That's a name. Any toy line could be graded nowadays. I think it started with Star Wars, but again, I did not look up for the history of this thing. But you can have Masters of the Universe. I have one right here. You can have G.I. Joes. You can have any toy line. They will grade. I think they would grade your grandma if you send it to AFA. And she would come back in an acrylic case. But she will probably not last forever. But she will be ready to go in the ground. But that's another thing. Okay, because it's not really carbonite, but yeah, yeah. Okay, I've got bad images in my head right now. Okay, donc you can grade any kind of your toy line. Let me show you. I've got a huge. Ugh. Take a look at this baby. Take a look at this guy. That's my head next to it. I mean, so this is a Masters of the Universe from 2005. It's a NECA, the NECA company that also do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures and stuff. So this one is only graded a 70. As you can see, this is a different sticker depending on the size. This should have cost a lot of money to grade because, like I said earlier, if your item is bigger, it's going to cost you more. And if you have to ship it back, it's going to cost you even more. So this is a huge acrylic case. Just the case might worth a few bucks. So anyway, like your question was really good. How about other toy lines, even less popular ones? They do it. They can grade any kind of toys. And this brings me to a different kind of grading, because now we've only seen graded stuff that is mint in card or in box or on card. They also do grading on loose figures. So take a look at this giant box. I have no idea how much this guy paid to have this fellow graded, but I was happy that I only paid for it over here in Canada, and I did not have to ship it over there. Okay, let's put this one down. Okay, so now, like I said, there are figures that are mint on cards. There are figures now, they also grade loose. So let's see. It's fun because I have 4 graded figures that I brought tonight to show you guys. And the cool thing is they all have something special that I want to talk about. So let me get Anakin over here and let me get this Gamorrean guard. Okay, let's start with Anakin. Why? Because it's a UKG. So this, a loose action figure graded would look like this. I'm sorry about the glare. I'm trying to do my best here. So this is Anakin Skywalker, last 17 graded, and it's UKG. As you can see, the sticker on top is graded in 80. Basically, all the same information that you would find except for the bubble and, of course, the card, because there's no card. I'm sorry, I'm unable to get this on focus for you guys. Anyway, I'm going to read it to you. So the figure received an 85 and the paint received an 80. So there's also an archival number. It's a Star Wars Anakin Skywalker, and you get the year 1985, and it's a Lucasfilm Limited. And this is the information that you get on the back of the figure. Just a second. I'm going to close this. Sorry about that. This is the COO, the information that is on mostly every... ils font les moules pour la figurine. Oui, exactement. Ils préparent la figurine pour la mettre dans une caisse en acrylique plus petite. Donc, this is UKG. This is a European company. So I would not be ready to ship to AFA, at least not yet, or CAS. So can you imagine shipping to Europe? I'm not ready at all. But anyway, so UKG is a great company. They do a great job. You're going to receive the same kind of service that you receive with AFA and CAS. And of course, the figure looks amazing. And it's just like it was sent out. And as you can see, there are little acrylics parts that hold the figure so it doesn't move inside, and it will stay intact in his little coffin. So this is for Anakin Skywalker. Okay, let's put him back right here. Now, we were talking about the little thing that they used to hold the action figures. Of course, when they started to doing this, they were, I think it was like trial and error. And of course, things were not like 100% ready. So there's a lot of not first, but in the beginning, there were a lot of action figure that would end up having little pieces falling off, as you can see over here. As you can see, there's a little peg, an acrylic peg that was stick right there, and it fell because it was, I don't know, shaken, or the glue did not stick very well. So you're ending up with a peg that is moving around. So of course, a lot of collectors don't like this, and I totally understand, because they're going to say, hey, if you move around your action figure, this peg is going to go and bump on the figure, and it's going to deteriorate the paint. So I totally understand. But again, once you have this graded, I mean, you put it on your shelf and you don't really play with it. Instead, just you can show your friends and they're going to hold them. They're not going to shake it like this. So anyway, I totally understand. But this is an issue that was often an issue with AFA in the beginning. Again, I'm going to show you something there that could happen, and I think it still happens with AFA and CAS. So this is a Gamorrean Guard from 1983, and look at the grade. The grade, it's a U85. What's a U mean? It means that it was uncirculated. So you're going to say, what does that mean? Well, the U means that at the beginning, believe it or not, people would send their mint on cards. Sometimes the mint on card would be really damaged, and you would say to AFA, I want it to be graded loose. So they would tear the figure out and put it inside one of these. So this where comes the U. It was uncirculated. Or people nowadays, they send complete cases of figures. Let me get one. They send complete cases of figures to AFA, and they say, grade every one of these. So they take one, they grade one, they grade it. So it's considered uncirculated because it was never out of the factory case. But back in the days, it was people that were sending action figures like this, but the card or the bubble would be destroyed, and it's considered like never open. And they would say, open it for me, I want a higher grade. And of course, most of the time, you would get a very good grade because you are actually using a figure that never came out of the bubble. So the reason why I'm saying this is sometimes AFA actually makes mistakes. So you end up having information on your sticker that might not be so legit. And like I was saying, as you guys can see, these are probably in the first few years that toys were graded because the peg are falling off. So this one is a Gamorrean Guard, as I was saying. It's a loose action figure. It's a Star Wars Scanner 1983. There's the barcode and the serial number. It's an 85 near mint plus, which is a very good grade. But if you guys take a look behind his leg, if you guys know the difference with the COO, the country of origin, every figures come from a company from a factory that it was created. And usually you're going to have this information over there. But there's actually figures that were made in Mexico. And most of the Mexican toys that were figures that were made over there was made by the company Lili Ledy. And the Lili Ledy figures are harder to find. But they exist. And back in the days, I have to believe that they didn't know, or the person that filled that up, they didn't take the time to say that it's a Lili Ledy. But if you look at the figure and the COO, you know it's a Lili Ledy. So on the sticker, instead of writing down Lili Ledy Mexico, they just wrote down made in Mexico. So I think that the person that graded this figure didn't know that it was actually Lili Ledy. So, or was it something that it was known at the beginning? I don't know. So sometimes, and I even have this with my hockey cards, you purchase a graded card or graded whatever, and sometimes there's an error on the actual sticker. And I know that nowadays you can even send them back and say, hey, by the way, you made a mistake, and they're going to fix it for you. But again, you have to ship it over there. But anyway, some people just live next to this factory, I guess, because there's so many toys that are graded nowadays. Donc, c'est juste des soutiens pour les figurines. Oui, c'est ça, dans le fond, ça tient ça va tenir la figurine en place. Tu as des garanties dans ce temps-là? Ben oui, c'est pas nécessairement une garantie. C'est plus comme je disais, tu vas pouvoir la renvoyer et dire hey, tu t'es trompé, man, c'est pas la bonne affaire. Ça gagne en valeur des erreurs. Ben oui, justement. My friend is asking me if when there's a mistake on your sticker, is it worth more? Well, for collectors, some people collect these error, just like variants on Star Wars mint on cards or on figures. Some figures don't have their paint correct. Like you can get a Boba Fett with no paint on one arm or on one leg or whatever. So people are looking for those, I'm not going to say oddballs, but j'ai fini pour l'instant. Fait que oui, ça peut prendre la valeur. Yes, it can be worth more. But like for any collecting, it's crazy. My cap looks like it's on the side. God, I look good. So yeah, for the right person, for the right collector, you'll be able to get more money out of an error like this. I got this one. This is a vintage G.I. Joe. I wanted to show you guys just to show you that any kind of toy line can be graded. So this is a loose Zarana, what's her name? Zarana, 1986 Zarana. And this one is a COO from the UK, and it's graded 80 near mint. And the cool thing is, depending on which action figure you're getting to grade, they're going to create a box that will do the best job to put your figure in a place that it won't move. And of course, the G.I. Joes always came with more than one weapon. So they created a little box inside the box to put the weapons. But as you can see, they move. So someone would say, yeah, but my weapons are moving. They're gonna get destroyed. Well, of course, again, once you've received this, you're not supposed to play with it. So you're supposed to put it on your shelf. So that's another loose graded figure. I'm going to give you an example now of another thing that can happen with the loose action figure graded. This one, people will love this one. This is actually a Luke Skywalker Jedi with a blue lightsaber. This one is pretty rare. It's pretty hard to find. It was released at the beginning of the waves of Return of the Jedi figures in 1983, but they made a mistake. As you guys know, in Return of the Jedi, Luke's lightsaber is actually green. So I was lucky enough to get one with the blue lightsaber. But someone wrote me about this one and asked me, how come this is not the snap on cape? It's not a cape, but robe. And how come it's not the gray gun? And I said, well, I don't know. So I've looked around on the web and I found others that are actually black and not gray. So when it's loose, you never know exactly where the items actually come from. Does it really come from someone that got the collection as a kid and sent them to the 3 items to, well, the 4 items to AFA, and they got it graded? Or it's someone that managed to get a blue lightsaber, original black gun, and a cloaked Jedi, and send it there. Said, oh, can you please grade my figure? We don't know. But one thing that we are sure of is that they are not repro. These are originals, because AFA, CAS, and UKG and other ones, they don't grade repro. They take the time to make sure that your item, it's an original. They will just ship it back to you, and they're gonna say, sorry, man, you've got a repro. We don't grade repro. So, which is very, very, very wise and very a good idea. So this one is, like I said, 1983 Kenner Star Wars loose action figure. It's from Taiwan. On the back of the leg, the COO, it's a Luke Jedi Knight with the blue lightsaber. So now I've been talking for more than an hour. So what I'm going to do, we're going to continue this next week, because I think we're having fun. And there's so much more to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about the variants. Why do people grade new modern stuff? Is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of money? I don't think so, but I'm going to explain you guys why. And of course, what do people are looking for? So I'm going to show you guys a few more of my items that I've taken out to show you tonight. I think this one you probably saw. That I'm just going to say this to end this podcast. Every vintage toy for me is worth grading, because you are making sure that this piece of heart, this piece of history, will be in a place that will remain in this best condition, and you will be able to show it and share it with friends, with other collectors. It's not a question of, look at my collection, it's bigger than yours. It doesn't have, that's not the point. The point is, I love a sentence that exists, is no toy is left behind. And I think this is amazing. Meaning that every toy that we played with, every toy that we found, every in collectors, in garage sales or whatever, it's like in Toy Story. I mean, this toy has an history. It meant something to someone. This Luke Skywalker with this blue lightsaber was probably owned by a kid. Did he play with it? Maybe, maybe not, whatever. But so no toy left behind. And for me, I think that's really important. So nowadays we have the chance to make sure that our beloved toys are now can stay in a very good condition. That's amazing. And I totally understand why after it's graded, it's worth more. So this is the last 17, just to give you an idea. And what I wanted to say about this is, yes, it's amazing to have Empire Strikes Back, or even A New Hope, 1977 graded stuff. I think every mint on card should be graded, whatever the grade, because even if you get a 50 grade, who cares? It's still in his acrylic case and will stay in amazing shape forever, as long as your cat just don't throw it on the floor. We haven't been able to check out the website, and this is the website. This is CGA. I'm going to put it full screen for you guys to see. So this is at cgagrading.com, .ca, no, .com, sorry. And we're going to check it out next week, and I'm going to show you more information on it, how it works, and I'm going to show you the prices that are up to date. This website was created during the summer because the old website is not working anymore. So yeah, so that's it. Let's do a part 2 next week, because I think that was amazing. This is why I want to do this podcast. This is why I'm having so much fun. There's so much knowledge to know, and I love to learn stuff. Personally, I can sit down and listen to someone talk about the way that they created the pictures for the Kenner toy line back in 1970. I mean, I'm that nuts, but I love this stuff. I love the information. So I want to thank you guys for being with me again tonight. And by the way, I just want to say we have reached 500 people on Yoda's workshop, and I'm going to make a little video on Yoda's workshop to thank you all for joining this group and telling what this group is all about. If there were no Yoda's workshop, there would be no Vintage Kids. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. I will see you next week. Again, if you have any other questions, go ahead, or prepare your questions for next week. That could be something cool. Yeah, thank you, man, Jim. It's not a question again of numbers, but I'm surprised and I'm happy to see that people enjoy what I offer. So yeah, see you tomorrow on the MMC, man. It's going to be fun again. So I want to thank everyone, my friends in the US, my friends in Canada, my friend all over the world. So let's do a part 2 next week. And if you prepare your questions, go check it out on the web. And if you learn stuff, bring the information to us. We'll be happy to talk about it. So as I always say, be good, be wild, be you. Have an amazing weekend. Well, the rest of week, because we're only Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I think only mardi. That way. So have fun. Share this with your friends. And if you've missed it, it's going to be available on YouTube and on Yoda's Workshop on Facebook. Have fun. Have an amazing week. Be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Take care.